G'day, Nathan here from ACA. You might know me from the website that I've been running for a couple of years on AutoCAD Architectural, was known as Architectural Desktop. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about my multi-level in one file system, and I'm going to be talking about the layer key style, the layer standard, and using layers. Now on my website, if you go to link at the best bits on the left, right here, multi-levels, you'll get a whole pile of good stuff there about what I'm going to show you. So this is the sample file that I've set up. I've got the commands that I use on layer 0, which I don't use for drawing on, and with some information. And basically what you get is, if I set level 1, you get level 1. If I set level 2, you get level 2. If I set level 1 electrical, you get level 1 electrical. So you notice the text, the dimensions are turned off. Okay, so that's basically a quick overview of the system, my little emergency tool there to turn everything on. So if we put our layer manager up, we get these two little buttons here, and we're going to have a look at the first one, which is layer standards. My layer standard is a slight alteration on generic architectural desktop format, which is the one that comes out of the box. And all I've done is I've added a level field into this series, and you can see here on the left, you can see level 1 there, level 2, there's a 3D, there's a site level down the bottom there. How I altered this, well, I did it a while ago, I can't honestly remember, but what I did is I actually ended up on Odin's Archidyme site, and he has actually got released for free his 2005 Architectural Desktop Development Guide. You've got to get onto this. The amount of information that's released here for free. Odin has a special talent for really spelling things out really clearly, but on here, on section part 2, layer management, he went right into all the details about the layer key style and the layer standard. Those two things work together, and I went right through his articles, and finally, after years of trundling around, finally got what I was after and was able to create this. Now the other component that works with the layer standard sits underneath, and then I've got a layer key style, which is called multi-level. Now this is what I've developed myself, and you'll see that I've taken what was given out of the box and made it very simple. You can see a lot of things end up on the same layer. Just to reiterate, what happens here is these pretty much are out of the box layer standards, layer keys, sorry. These are generic to AutoCAD architecture, and they come out of the box. So for example, a wall is key to the layer key wall. So that's out of the box. I haven't changed that. What I've done is that is then keyed to a layer, and that comes out of the layer key style. And so wall is keyed in my system to 1-wall, 1 being the level. Now we know if we go back to the generic architectural desktop format, the layer standard, the level is a field that can be adjusted, and that's what happens. That's one of the tricks that happens in the system. And so when I just quickly go back to here, when I go draw a wall, it goes onto 1-wall. These are my shortcuts, by the way. I don't use the ribbon things and stuff too much, but so you might have to pick up a bit on other places about where the appropriate ribbon tool, if you want to use those, are. So that goes onto 1-wall. Now when I hit L2, what happens is, you'll notice that that goes off. Now if I draw my wall again, you'll see it's still there, but it's now on 2-wall, and that is because I have created a Lisp routine. This one there, and it's a clever little thing. My Lisp skills are actually very, very basic, and I was actually very excited about what I was able to do with simple Lisp. It looks quite complicated, but believe me, any complicated bits of actually copied and pasted. But one of the things that it does is it sets a layer key override. You will see in the level 2, that's not reading very good, we'll try and stretch that out a bit. Level 2 sets an override level 2, which what that does is sets this down here, this little key down here to 2, and that changes that whole series from 1 to now 2. So if I add a window, add a window to that, it'll actually go to 2 dash frames because that override. Just a couple of other things. As I said, I've really simplified the layer key. I went to the wrong one, didn't I? Really simplified the layer key. For example, my thoughts were that a lot of people don't like using layers, and we just have so many layers. So what I did is I simplified it, and for example, window, I have to do that again, window and window assembly, they're both windows, so why do they need a different layer? For a small residential project, that's just insane. So wind assembly, now they are the layer keys that a window and a door window assembly will go to. Openings will actually go to the same layer, frames, and actually doors will go to the same layer as well. And hopefully that background noise is not coming through too strongly. Okay, so that's a little bit more about the layer key style. It's actually quite simple. I've aimed for simplicity. I've aimed for trying to get to out of the box as close as I can, so that as new upgrades come, it doesn't take me much to customize it to my system. Something else to look at regards to the Lisp is that the Lisp commands is something similar, very similar to what you would issue on a command line. And here I issue the layer command make 0, and then I just do a series of filter type operations where I turn everything off and then turn on those layers that begin with 2 dash, and also my stair layer, which is on 1 dash. And that's a very, very simple way of doing it. But if I follow certain rules in naming my layers, anything that doesn't come under that will get turned off and not get turned on again. So I can filter things fairly easily. I use this to do some other things, such as L1S, which turns level 1 on and turns the site layers on, so that I can actually see the ground floor together with paving and other site layers things. So really that's fairly simple, that you can actually create any sort of filter series that you want, and I've done that. Things like I can turn all L walls off, and I'll turn all walls off. L roof off, turn all the roof layers off. L RF on, and I'll turn all the roof layers on, so I can see all the roofs together, whether they're first or second floor. So just by using some series of rules and some wildcards in the Lisp, I can create lots of little different shortcut programs to manipulate different parts of the model as I work. So hopefully that's given you a good overview of the layer side of things.